Welcome back to another session of anubhavshaphotography. In this session, we will quickly learn what are the 3 important ways to sharpen your photographs in Photoshop. So इस सेशन में हम जानेंगे कि वो 3 मेजर कौन से तरीके हैं किसी भी फोटोग्राफ को शार्पन करने के लिए फोटोशॉप में। आप किसी भी इमेज को जो भी डल हो, जिसका रेजोल्यूशन कम हो या वो ब्लरी हो या वो हल्की सी उसकी क्लैरिटी डिम हो, आप उसको शार्पन कर सकते हैं अपने फोटोग्राफ को फोटोशॉप में और एक बहुत ही सुंदर रिजल्ट्स अचीव कर सकते हैं जिसमें कि क्लैरिटी भी उसकी इंप्रूव होती है। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट फोटोशॉप एंड लर्न अबाउट इट। हेलो वंडरफुल पीपल, दिस इज anubhavshaphotography फ्रॉम anubhavshaphotography। विदाउट एनी फर्दर ado, लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड।
Make the strings louder.
Alright, first thing first, let's open Photoshop and open the model image. So for this session, we are going to use this pretty model which I downloaded from unsplash.com. Now we will quickly see in this session that how to convert the blur image into the sharpen images by 3 excellent ways in Photoshop. So we will use this particular image in all the sessions. First of all, we will start doing it with high pass technique. We have already seen how to use high pass technique in previous session. Link is in the description. So what we will do, we will just double click on this layer and we will rename it to technique 1. We will copy it by command J and we will call it technique 2 and we will rename it to technique 3. So what we are going to do is we are just keeping 3 copies of technique 1, technique 2 and technique 3 right here only, and we will be doing all the manipulation by these 3 technique layers on one PSD file so that it will be very easy for you to compare. So just deactivate these 2 layers and activate our technique 1 layer. Now we will start quickly. So first of all, we can see that the image of this model is so pretty, but it is little blur. So the portion of hair texture and all the things are little blurred. So what we are going to do, we are going to just quickly modify this image and we'll start with technique 1. That will be the high pass technique. Just right click on it and convert it to the smart object. Go to filter, other and high pass and just select the radius as per your requirement. It should not be too much high, otherwise it will ruin the image, or it should not be too much low so that effect will not be visible. You should just select it somewhere fairly enough so that your texture would be little improvised and properly visible. I'm going to select somewhere 17, press OK. Oh, we just forgot to make the copy of technique 1 layer. No worries, we have the copy of technique 2. So we'll just make command J here once and we will just rename it to copy 1 and we will drag it to the underneath of technique 1 layer. Alright, so we have this scenario and you could have done it in the first step. So I'm really sorry I forgot to. And just select the technique 1 high pass layer and change the blending mode to either soft light, hard light or linear light, whichever is convenient for you. So for this session, I am going to select linear light and then we will quickly make a masking onto it. We will do command I to invert so that all the effects are hidden now, and we will select the brush tool. We'll make sure foreground color is selected as white, opacity 100%, and we will just increase the size of the brush. We will make sure that hardness is 0 and we will just immediately painting on the canvas wherever we want to reveal the sharpness. The areas where we don't want to apply the sharpness, we will leave it as it is. So you can improvise it as per your requirement. You should perform this action very carefully with the eyes and the lips. We will decrease the opacity a little bit for the lips. Perfect. Once you have achieved it, we'll quickly see what results we have got with it. So we started with this image and we have achieved this result. So this is really amazing technique to sharpen the image in very efficient way. So we will just make a group of these layers and we'll call it high pass. And now we will see the technique 2. We will disable this high pass and we will select the technique 2 layer. This technique is called unsharp mask. So for that, we will again make the command J to make the copy. We will call it effect and we will right click on it, convert to smart object and we'll go to filter, sharpen and unsharp mask. Now we will see three sliders here. One is the amount. So this justifies the amount of the sharpness whichever we want to have on our image. Radius is something that how much detail of the sharpness we really want on the pixels of the images. So we'll just keep it somewhere to the fair idea, little bit like this. And threshold, and for this purpose we will keep the threshold as 0 and we'll increase the radius somewhere. 15 is fine, and we'll just press OK. Again we will make the masking on it. We will do Command I and we'll select the brush tool. Foreground color is white. Opacity again 100%, and we'll start painting on the canvas wherever we want to reveal the effect. The same technique which we did with the technique 1 layer. So actually for the demonstration purpose we are doing it very quickly. You can take time and do it with lots of patience, but at least you get the idea so that you can perform these magical techniques as per your requirements. So we'll see what we have achieved with it. So this was the before and after, this really magical effect. So this is really unbelievable that how effectively we are achieving the sharpness of the blurred images very quickly back to our canvas. So just select these two things and Ctrl G, and we'll call it unsharp mask. I'm sorry with my spellings. Unsharp mask. Now we'll go to the technique 3. We'll enable the technique 3 layer, and for technique 3 we are going to again generate the copy for it. Command G or Ctrl J, right click on it, convert to smart object, go to filter, sharpen, and smart sharpen. So now you will get this particular window here. You can play with the sliders of these amount, radius and reduce noise. Noise should be 0 so that you will get the effect as per your requirement. You see the radius, as we are increasing the radius, the picture is getting more sharpened, and fade amount should be how much washed out effect you need on your image. So I mean you can just play with these sliders and you can just see what kind of parameters are looking good with your particular image which you are using this point of time. And one more important thing, it is to remember that in the remove section, Gaussian blur should be selected. So once you have selected the parameters, press OK. Click on smart filter and then again just generate a mask. Ctrl I to invert. Foreground color should be white and select the brush. Opacity 100%. Increase the brush size and start painting wherever you want to reveal the effect. Now once you have done with it, we'll quickly see what we have achieved with it. So we started with this image and we have achieved this wonderful result. Alright, so finally we just make the group of these two and we'll call it smart sharpen. Now we have 3 samples. First is this, second is this, and third is this. So whichever technique is appropriate as per your requirement, you can just play with it. And of course you can play with the opacity as well. So whichever opacity you want to decrease or increase, you can of course do that. And these are the fabulous technique to use to sharpen any image: high pass, unsharp mask and smart sharpen. One important thing which we really need to understand is whatever is gone is gone. So the area which is actually blurred and out of focus while we are creating or capturing the photograph, it is gone. We cannot take it back. But at least if it is important, we can just try to make it usable by these techniques so that we can show it with few manipulation to the desirable effects. So I hope you like this video, and please don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. And in case you find any difficulty, please contact us. We would love to answer. Enjoy! Alright, so जैसे कि अभी आपने देखा कि फोटोशॉप में कितनी आसानी से इन 3 वेज को यूज करते हुए हम अपनी फोटोग्राफ को शार्पन कर सकते हैं और उसके क्लैरिटी को एनहांस कर सकते हैं। इन टेक्निक्स में से आप किसी भी टेक्निक को यूज कर सकते हैं जो भी आपके लिए अप्रोप्रिएट हो और आपकी इमेज के अकॉर्डिंगली फिट बैठती हो। और इन केस आपको फोटोग्राफी या फोटोशॉप यूज करने में कोई भी दिक्कत आती हो, आप हमारी वेबसाइट www.anubhavshaphotography.com पे जा सकते हैं और आप कमेंट कर सकते हैं कमेंट सेक्शन में भी। And if you have not subscribed my channel right now, please go and subscribe and hit the bell icon. बहुत जल्दी लौटेंगे नई फ्रेश डेडिकेटेड एपिसोड आपके लिए लेकर. Meanwhile, stay fit, stay healthy, be happy. This is Anubhav Sharma from Anubhav Shah Photography signing off.